Hey everyone, I just wanted to give you a middle of the week update. First of all, I'm just so excited about how much y'all have been participating, and most of you have emailed me or texted me about fall break, and that is amazing. I just really, really appreciate it. Sorry this was delayed just a day or so. I just wanted to make sure that I heard from as many of you as possible. And my toddler got his very first daycare cold. This is his first year in daycare, and so we were expecting a few germs, and so he was sick for a couple of days and very clingy to me. So he's feeling much better. Um, but yes, I just wanted to show you a few more things about D2L, but also I did make some changes to the syllabus. And so if you go to the content tab, um, and you go to the getting started, and then you go to syllabus, it's just some minor changes. I just wanted to make sure I gave you as much time over fall break as I possibly could. And so you'll just notice what I did is so week 7, I just said that you have extra time to work on your interview project, which is the project we're going to be working on at the time. And I do have the asynchronous assignment, but it's not going to be due until after fall break. So we'll actually be due during week 8. And I always do just a mid-semester check-in where you just have the opportunity to tell me how you feel like you're doing, if you're struggling anywhere, if you need some help with something. Sometimes all a student has to write is, I'm good, that's it. You know, it's not, it doesn't have to be anything overly complicated, but I've had students tell me in the past when I've done this assignment, oh my goodness, I've got to write this essay because I really, really want to get into college that I really want to, and I'm struggling with it. And I'm like, okay, well, let me help you. Um, so it just gives me an idea of how you're doing, if you're overwhelmed, if you feel like you're doing fine, just as we get into the second part of the class. And so it doesn't have to be anything overly complicated, but you can wait until week 8 to do it. For some people, it will only take a few minutes. Sometimes people write me a book, and that's fine too. If there's just something you need to get off your chest, that's fine. I've heard about breakups and college disappointments, all sorts of things. But that's almost like a free write for you. So it just kind of I squished week 6 just a little bit. So I'm actually keeping the old discussion, but I changed the one that you actually have to respond to. So if you go up, let me get back into my folders anyway. We'll actually go into discussions. What I did for that original week 6, um, I've made it where you just need to watch the video and acknowledge that you've watched it. Like maybe make a comment about it. That's fine. I might even go through and change the video to reflect that a little bit, so I might update that for you, just because it's a little bit different than the previous class you used it. And then I moved up week 7 to week 6, and this is the one where you'll do the peer replies on, not the original one. That one's just, hey, I read it, I understand it, because I really didn't want to take both of them out because I feel like both are important for the assignment that you're doing at that time. So I didn't want you to lose any instruction. But I decided that for this first one, just watch the video. You don't have just make the comments on it, but you don't have to do the peer replies. So made that one just a little bit easier for you. So just a few other little quick things about D2L that I wanted to hit on just to make sure that you know about it. So if you look up here, you see the envelope, the subscription alerts, and the update alerts. Notice how my update has a little orange dot beside it. That means I've got an update alert. I just haven't yet. Partially because I like having a little dot there, so that way I can demonstrate this for you. So let's say you accidentally forget to do an assignment. It happens sometimes, especially in an online class. Students kind of get a little bit overwhelmed, and then they just completely forget that they had an assignment or that they had two that week. And so what happens is, usually when I grade stuff, I typically grade stuff on Monday and Tuesday mornings. Sometimes if I don't have a lot going on during the week, like normally week 1 I would have already started grading your work, but as I said, I had cleaned the baby for a few days, so I deeply apologize for that. I always like to let y'all know what's going on and why I didn't get something done. I try not to use it as an excuse, but just bear with me. I might even start grading a few things tonight just to get started. But anyway, as I said, let's say you accidentally forget an assignment. What I do typically is I'll send you a message to the D2L messaging system. We have kind of like an automatic thing I can set out where I can click on it and it says send students who haven't turned in their assignment an email. And kind of help me generate an automatic email that says, hey, you're missing asynchronous assignment week 2.2. Can you please get this in as soon as possible? And they're just reminders, just so that way, I mean, you just might have honestly forgotten. Or if I see something like a lot of you tell me in your introductions, like, hey, I'm thinking about going to MTSU or Tennessee Tech or whatever. If I come across a scholarship or something that I think might be helpful to you, sometimes I'll send it to you through the D2L messaging system. So, and you can also get in contact with me through that. So if you go to this communications tab and click on class list, I'm just trying to show you the easiest way to get there. It has a list of all the students, and what's really cool is if they have this little green dot, that means they're online at the time. So like here, I am available. Yay! What you can do is you just click on this arrow right here. You can click send email, and it will automatically pull up the MTSU messaging system through D2L. You can send me a quick email that way. So just to get in contact with me. So yeah, those are really the most basic things that I use in D2L. Just play around with it over the course of this week. If you are struggling with anything, please feel free to send me a message, and I'll try to help you as much as I can. One thing I recommend doing, if you'll pay attention to my lovely face in the box down here, one thing I highly recommend doing, let's see if it will do it for me. It may or may not show it very well, but we do have an app that you can download. It's if you go to the App Store in both Google and or Android and Apple, and just type in Middle Tennessee State University. It will be a blue box with the MT in there. That's going to be the icon for it. And I highly, highly recommend getting the app because one, you can access your email through there. You can access D2L. And there's also a list of phone numbers about halfway through the homepage on the app, and one of them is for what is called the ITD help desk. What that is we have 24/7 support for D2L and tech support in general. So if you're having trouble, let's say you decide to change your password on your email, and then you forget what password you changed it to. That happened to me several times. Actually, when I was pregnant, for some reason, I forgot like all my passwords. It was really, really bad. I had no idea what any of them were. I sat in front of my computer for 20 minutes trying to figure out how to log into it. That's pregnancy brain for you. But I digress. But anyway, but if you're having trouble logging into D2L or there's some sort of issue, if you call them, 90% of the time they're going to be able to help you. Like, I cannot help you reset your password. I have no idea how to do that because I don't have access to those systems on my end. But they do, so if you are struggling with something, tech support, you just click that from the app and it will automatically call them and you can get that information. It also has automatic phone numbers to our access center, disability and access center, as well as, let me pull that back up real quick. It's asking for my lovely face the MT1 stuff, and also our university place, which you will probably not need. So, yeah, those are the basic, like, the most things that I use on D2L. I try to make it as simple as possible for you. Sometimes D2L can get a little bit glitchy, especially during midterms and finals, and that's just because a lot of people are accessing the system. MTSU has got 20,000+ students that attend, and so when everybody's trying to access the system at the same time, sometimes it shuts down. If that happens, for some crazy reason, as I mentioned in the previous video, you can't upload something, just shoot me a text, shoot me an email. We'll deal with it in the morning. Okay, it happens. It happens more than I probably like for it to, and it is fine. It's fine. I promise you. I'm not going to be mad at you. I'm not going to dock 50 million points. You won't lose any points whatsoever. But that's most everything in a nutshell. But seriously, guys, some of you have already reached out to me, asking questions. That's what I'm here for. I am here to help you get the best grade possible. So if you ever have any question concerning any question about an assignment, I'm sorry, I honestly forgot that there were 3 questions at the end of the 21st drafts. I've just gotten automatically used to just going using that particular answer those. If you did, that's perfectly fine. Um, but I had some students ask that question, hey, do you want us to answer both sets of questions? And I was like, nope, just the ones that I asked you to, so that were in the assignment in detail. So thank you for asking questions. Thank you for being curious. Thank you for just being on top of everything. I think that is absolutely amazing. And I'm very, very excited to work with this class just based off the first few days. I hope you'll have a very restful and wonderful weekend, and I will get started on grading your week-long work.